Well, life has nearly killed me, and my mind has put me on the edge. Life has nearly killed me, and my mind has put me on the edge. Though I can barely crawl, I've got to walk where these angels feet are tread.
Folks, well, we are on the highway. We are headed out of town. It's been a couple of weeks of taking Megan back and forth to doctor's appointments and making sure everything is going well for her and her recovery. But she is good to go at her folks' house for the next couple of days, so I'm going to take the opportunity to just get a little vacation outdoors. It's been, like I said, a couple weeks since I was out with Edward. I'm actually on my way down south now to pick up Donald from Soft-Roading the West. He had an unfortunate incident where somebody blew a stop sign and took out the front end of the Forester. He is okay, but the Forester is down for the count for the moment. Hopefully we'll get some information from him a little later in the video about its whether it's going to be able to get fixed or what the situation is with it. But like I said, I've got probably a couple hours of driving on the highway to get down to where he's at, and then hopefully it is outdoor time after that for the next couple of days, and I'm sure both of us are going to really enjoy it.
Well, my cup is nearly empty. I got such a long, long, long way to go.
I thoroughly enjoy waking up in quiet, scenic, beautiful locations and opening my door and taking a deep breath of fresh mountain air. Since Megan's accident, living the van life has been put on hold while Megan recovers at her folks'. I'm very appreciative to have a comfortable place for Megan to recover, but I find it extremely claustrophobic being in town. The constant noises, traffic, sirens, houses stacked on top of each other. It feels more like a prison than a healthy way of life. When I heard about Donald's accident, I knew that being without the Forester had to have him feeling trapped and imprisoned himself. What happened to the Forester, Donald?
Well, Lucy and I were just driving through an intersection on a green light, and lady came out of nowhere, ran through the red lights from behind a line of cars that were stopped, so I didn't even see her coming. Just got us right in the front right corner of the car. And I really tried to be minimal too. And you gotta bring housing and bedding. And camera gear.
But can't forget camera gear.
Can't forget camera gear.
I got such a long, long, long way to go. Yeah, my cup is nearly empty. I got such a long, 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 long way to go.
All right, folks. Well, I think we finally found a spot where we're going to camp tonight. This was actually our original location that we wanted to go to in the first place, but we were really hoping that with some of the new snow that was starting to fall in the Cascades, that we might be able to get up and do some snow camping. But once we got up there, all the roads had either gates on them or they had built up snow banks so that people wouldn't drive down the roads because they just wanted it for, skiing and snowmobiles only. So we just kind of backed back down. We're camped along this nice little river here. It's a little bit wet and rainy, but I think we'll be all right. And we'll still be able to have a good time while we're out for the weekend. Typically when Donald and I go out, we usually just fend for ourselves and cook our own meals. We have our own setups and it just works, easier that way. But in this instance where he is actually out with me, to kind of minimize the amount of gear he was going to have to pack, we just decided that we would just cook meals together and just use all my cooking gear. So we stopped by the grocery store and just got a bunch of stuff, went in on everything, and I'm just loading it into the Snowmaster now so that we can keep it fresh for the weekend. Even though it was late, and I knew we still had more to do before settling in for the night, having the disturbing noises of the city replaced by the sound of the flowing river and the subtle yet peaceful sounds of the late evening forest, I could already feel the anxiety and stress that the city had brought on starting to lift. All right, so we're just kind of making a simple dinner tonight since we got here late, just making a couple quick grilled cheese sandwiches. One little trick that I like to do when the butter is cold like it is, instead of trying to spread it directly on the bread, I just throw the butter down in the pan and then just let the bread kind of soak in it. Dipping your grilled cheese sandwich in some tomato soup, that's kind of nice. Yeah, grilled cheese sandwiches are always such a satisfying thing.
I never think to do that, but it's actually really, it's a good option.
All right, folks, well, we're starting to get off the bed. Donald's already back at his camp and getting settled in for the evening. You know, it took us a little bit longer to get out and find where we wanted to go today than we had planned. We got here late. We hung out a little bit, had a couple of sandwiches and a couple beers, and so we're just going to try to head off to bed fairly early tonight, get up tomorrow. Maybe we'll pack up this camp and go explore some more places, or we might just, you know, explore on foot this location. But either way, it just feels really good to be, you know, out of town and back in the woods, and I'm really looking forward to a great night's sleep in the van. Well, folks, just up this morning, got a cup of coffee, fed Daisy, but just really enjoying being back in the van. I definitely missing the van life. You know, the last couple of weeks, you know, like I said, we've been bouncing around getting Meagan to some different doctor's appointments, and we've been between either her parents' house or my sister-in-law's, and I truly appreciate the help and having places to stay, especially right now where, you know, we need it for Meagan. My van's not set up for 2 people at the moment, and, you know, of course, we're down Meagan's van. So it's great that we have her parents and that we have my sister-in-law and they're willing to let us stay. I fully appreciate it. But I definitely miss the simplicity of van life and just being in my van and being out in the woods or out in the high desert. I'm really missing the high desert. I'm really looking forward to kind of being able to get back out there. But even just being able to get out here with Donald and be out in the forest and along this river, it's just such a peaceful and relaxing way of life. Definitely here, hopefully I'm really hoping in the next probably 2 months or so that we will be back in a position where Meagan's feeling good enough and we've got our van squared away enough that that we can get back to this lifestyle and living this way.
Fantastic. Really hits the spot this morning.
Yeah, Megan's mom's actually been cooking me that every morning for breakfast, and I find it's so simple, but I find it such a treat, and I really enjoy it. But I have to say, I don't think my version's quite as good as Megan's mom's, because my avocado wasn't quite ripe enough, and my egg was a little bit overcooked, but still just kind of a very satisfying little meal.
Oh, for sure. It's really a treat.
One of the added benefits of this location was the lack of cell service. I'm as guilty as the next person of spending too much time on my devices, burying my head in the digital sand instead of being present in the moment in the location that I'm in. It gives me comfort to know there are still places I can go on this earth where I can break the connection to the outside world, focusing my energy on the life that is going on immediately around me, and not the constant static that is pumped into our heads daily by living a lifestyle that has us constantly plugged into a digital consciousness that is not our own. All right, guys, well, we're just kind of hanging out. The day's starting to come to an end. We didn't actually take off and explore any other places. We just kind of hung out here today.
Yeah, we just hung out here, and you know what? It was perfect. It was just what I needed.
Yeah, I mean, me too. It's kind of nice not to just be go, go, go all the time.
Yeah, I really have a tendency to do that too. Get up in the morning, pack everything up, try and explore more, find something else, find something new, camp someplace else. And this was really just, it was a really nice way to experience being out here.
Yeah, I think it was nice for me too. Like, I just needed to unwind, so for me, it was just good to hang out. I got a chance to maybe walk around a little bit, play with my photography. I don't know if I got anything or not, but it still was fun to get the camera out and have some time and not feel pushed to move on to the next location, or you know, to get out of here and, you know, get back somewhere. Just nice to just hang.
Yeah, it was really, I mean, that's something that I almost never do, is really thoroughly explore the area where I've camped, you know, in depth. I mean, every morning, you know, I get up and I film some morning stuff, I walk around a little bit. But here today, I mean, I have been through the forest, I've been up and down the creek, I have just really experienced the place, you know, just in a much deeper way than I normally do, and it was really a nice change.
Yeah. But our day is starting to come to the end, so I think here pretty soon we're gonna get a fire going and have a good dinner. This may be just my opinion, but I think the campfire is the greatest technological advancement mankind has ever made. It brought us warmth, a way to cook our meals, and it brought communities and families together for centuries. With all our modern advancements, I can't think of another technology that is so simple and is as equally beneficial. All right, guys, we're starting to get dinner going. Donald's actually over at the fire. He's working on getting some baked potatoes cooked for us. I'm working on the meat. The meat we're gonna have tonight is beef heart. Beef heart is something that I grew up on as a kid. My mom made it for us all the time. She did it with mashed potatoes, and then she would fry up the beef heart, and with the dripping she would make country gravy, and it was one of my absolute favorite meals as a kid. We're doing things a little bit different tonight. We're gonna be doing the baked potatoes. I think it's still gonna be really good, and I'm excited about it. And I'm just kind of curious, what's something that you guys, something that your guys' mom made for you that was a favorite as a kid? So cooking beef heart is very similar to venison. You don't want to overcook it. You want it to be about medium rare. If you overcook it, it just becomes really tough.
It's good, Jason.
Man, I am hungry.
I didn't even wait for you. I started eating.
That is totally fine.
The meat is delicious. It is really good.
Yeah, I think beef heart is one of those really underrated meats that people don't think about. But it is when cooked right, it is a delicious, delicious meat.
It really is. I mean, I remember eating venison heart as a kid when my dad would get deer. But I hadn't thought about it for decades. I'm not going to say how many years, but I'm obviously can't get a word out.
But you like it.
Speechless. I'm speechless.
It's so good.
And it's really a healthy meat, if I understand.
Yeah. I mean, I think technically all quote unquote awful meats are high in vitamins and minerals, but yeah, most of them aren't very good.
Right.
Beef heart is the exception. Or a heart from any animal, because like you said, you've had venison heart.
Right.
Yeah, venison heart, beef heart, elk heart, they're exceptional in my opinion. Well, we're getting a little snow flurry this morning. Nothing too crazy, just enough to put a little skiff on the ground and just to look really beautiful coming down through the trees. Donald's getting his camp packed up and put away, and I'm getting a few things straightened around the van. We're getting ready to get out of here. But all in all, it was just a really good trip. Great to be back out in the van again. Great to just be living the van life and being out in nature. Just really enjoy it. Looking forward to getting back to this lifestyle full time, which should hopefully be very shortly. We got a new van coming for Meagan, and as soon as we can get it set up for her, and we are both very eager to get back to this lifestyle. Anyhow, I'm going to wrap up the video. If you guys haven't checked out Donald, please do so. I think you guys will be extremely happy with the content that he's putting out. Just really good stuff. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you enjoyed this content, please do give it a like. And, you know, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing. And we'll see you guys again outside.